Today I'm in Latvia, and for the next 12 hours I'm going to be seeing what there is to do in Latvia's capital of Riga. To start off with, it is freezing. It has been snowing overnight. You can see there's loads of snow. Right here is the Liberty statue. But I am cold, I am so cold. But first things first, let's go get breakfast. On the way to get some breakfast, I actually passed this Orthodox cathedral, which I thought looked really nice. Just thought I'd stop and show you it whilst I'm on the way to get food. For breakfast, I went to a place called Meat, which was the only place in all of Riga offering a vegan English breakfast. And apart from the random salad on the side, it was pretty bang on. After this, I hopped on a bus and I went to an open air museum. The transport system in Riga is pretty similar to a lot of countries in Europe. You buy a ticket and it lasts for 90 minutes per trip. So as long as the bus journey is under 90 minutes, then you're fine. The bus journey for this open air museum was 35 minutes, I think, so I had plenty of time. So this open air museum is called the Ethnographic Open Air Museum, and all the buildings here are from the 4 main regions of Latvia. The idea was to preserve the history and culture of the indigenous populations that exist in Latvia before the war and after the war. As you can see here from the map, it's actually fairly big and you can go in most of these. It's probably not a great day for an open air museum with the weather being so cold. I think it's about -2 and it's icy, so no doubt I'll probably slip at some point. The museum was established in 1924 and has 118 historical buildings on site from its 4 regions of Latvia, which are Kirseme, Vidzeme, Zemgale and Latgale, which I am probably butchering the pronunciation of them because they are Latvian words, but you get the idea. The summer months are the best time to visit this museum as all the buildings are open and they even have traditional artisans on site doing stuff like woodworking and blacksmithing, where you can actually learn how to do some of these skills, which is making me regret coming in the middle of winter even more now. The price of this museum is only €2 for adults, and if you've got a student card it's 140. So to come here for a couple of euros is really good. It's very unique. We don't get these open air museums in many places. I don't think we have any in the UK. So to get to experience one of these types of museums for a couple of euros is well worth the money. For anyone who's watched like The Last Kingdom or Game of Thrones or maybe the Vikings, this really makes me feel like I'm living in that world with being in a forest full of snow, and then you've got all these wooden homes and churches with very rustic feeling history to them. Now, a lot of these buildings are actual authentic buildings from the regions that they've been taken from. They were taken from the regions where they were first built and placed here as a part of the museum. Now, of course, there are some that are just replicas, but a lot are authentic. Unfortunately for me today, most of these are actually locked and you can't go in them. There are a few you can go in, but the majority are locked today, and I don't know if that's because of the weather or just because of the time of year. This is a really cool windmill. I wonder what windmills would have been used for in like these times and these conditions, because I have no idea. If anyone knows what windmills are used for back in the early 20th century, let me know. Make sure to keep your map when you come here because it is a bit like a maze. Obviously there's signs, but they're in Latvian, so you'll struggle to find your way around and find your way out if you don't keep the map. Now I'm on my way back to my hostel, which is in Riga's Old Town. And inside Riga's Old Town there's a fair few things to see, such as the House of the Blackheads, which was built in the 14th century by merchants that were unmarried. And then right next to the House of the Blackheads you have the Museum of Occupation. The Museum of Occupation just basically explains the history of Latvia being occupied by the Soviets and by the Nazis. So I've got 2 more things to do tonight before I head to the airport. The first is I'm going to go to the National Museum of Art, which is this building here. It's just in a park, and then after this got to go get some tea before we leave. I'm in the museum now, and I had to ask one of the security guys where to go, like what to look at, and he was explaining to me that on the 5th floor there's a private exhibition, but he said just go up there, no one normally checks if you've got a ticket. So it was quite nice of him to kind of be like, yeah, just go and check the private exhibition, it's really good. If you've not got a ticket, doesn't matter, they probably won't check. Another fact that the guy told me was that this museum was the first national museum in all of the Baltic states, which is quite interesting. I went up to the 5th floor and there was not really anything up there. It was just full of groups of people drinking wine who were quite clearly into art. I was so out of place and I didn't know what was going on because there was not really any art up there, so I just came straight back down. The National Art Museum has art from the 18th century to the current times, with there being a mix of paintings and sculptures of both modern and classical art. And the art that sticks out the most for me is the architectural design of the building, which I think in itself is incredible. That art museum wasn't that bad, to be honest. It had quite a bit of variety. It had pictures, statues, modern art. It had quite a bit. I'd say, you know, if you need something to do for 45 minutes, maybe an hour, it's an alright place to go, and it's only a couple of euros. Now I'm on to the final thing that I've got to do before I go catch my flight, and that's go get some food. And I need to get a big meal because I've had no dinner this afternoon and I fly at 6 AM. So I don't know if I'll eat in the airport, which is the awkward time. So we need to get something quite big, quite filling now. So for tea, I headed to a place called Cozy Eats, where I got myself a burger and wedges along with an unbelievable chocolate fudge and cream cake. I couldn't finish the cake, the burger and the chips was enough on its own, so I'll eat that before I go to the airport. But before I end the video, I did just want to say that this video was meant to be more than what it was. It wasn't just meant to be a vlog. Originally I wanted to have it as a you control what I do during the trip video, where you would vote on the things I do, but there just wasn't enough to do in Riga for me to really be able to make a good video doing that. They give you a lot of options, so instead I ended up doing a vlog. Anyway, that is the end of the video. I hope you liked it. Make sure you hit the like button if you did, comment below your favorite part, and make sure you smash that subscribe button. And as always, remember, keep exploring.